Steel target fell over. Today, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite new purchases, and that is the SAR B6C handgun. This is the 9mm. And here's the cool thing. This thing was only around $200. So again, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a lot of fun just shooting, right? We're not all in it for competition. We're not all in it to look like special forces operators dressed up in body armor in our backyard. Some of us just want to have fun, go out on the range and shoot some rounds down range at some targets, right? And that's what I'm all about, is just having some fun. So let's talk about this little guy, the SAR. I think I paid $220, $200 for it. It came in a little case. It came with a little cleaning kit, a couple of these 13-round magazines. So let's do the fun part of it, right? Let's go out on the range and shoot this thing and see what it feels like. So now for the fun part. We are going to live fire and actually shoot this and see how well it goes. Now, full disclaimer, I've shot this, I don't know, 300 or 400 rounds through it already, so I kind of know. But because it's gotten that bad rap, I thought I'd make a video showing that, especially for the price, this can be amazing, fun, and affordable, right? Some people don't have a ton of money to spend on firearms like me. So, you know, you can still have some fun with it. It's fun to shoot. So without delay, let's shoot it and see how we do. As I've said in a lot of my other videos, I am by far not an expert at this. I just do my best and I have fun. So here we go. Okay, there you have it. There was one magazine, and I would say, you know what, I hit the target, I'm pretty sure every time. I'm 10 or 12 meters away from it. My grouping could definitely use some work, but I'm going to blame that mostly on me, not the firearm. I didn't have any jams. I didn't have any issues. So, you know, yeah, 200 bucks. Get one, have some fun with it, learn how to shoot. So now I've got steel target out there, so we're gonna go one more magazine and have a little fun with a steel target. Steel target fell over. I didn't have it mounted properly. All right, there you have it. We've got the B6C $200 9mm pistol. Now, let's go up into the house and teach you how to take it apart and give it a good cleaning. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I always enjoy getting a chance to go out on the range and put some lead down range and shoot some targets and just have a good time. But at the end of that day, there's the one thing that's not always the funnest, but it is probably one of the most important things. You've got to clean your firearm. So let's talk about cleaning the SAR B6C. We're going to take it apart, we're going to clean it, we're going to lubricate it, and get it ready for the next range day, okay? So let's get into that. First thing, as always, you want to make sure your weapon is safe. You're not going to want to take it apart, you're not going to work on it, don't do anything unless you know that weapon is clear and safe. So We're going to remove the magazine. We're going to make sure that magazine is clear and safe. And in fact, just to be on the safe side, we're going to get it way out of our workspace, right? Then we're going to check that our magazine is clear. One thing I will say about the SAR is, you know, it's not the most expensive gun and it is a lot of fun to shoot, but that charging handle, woo, is she tight. I'm sure there's some things you can do to improve that, but for what this is, I'm not going to worry about it. But we've checked, we know our chamber is clear, we've moved our hammer forward, so let's continue going. Now, with the SAR, in order to disassemble it, you've got to match these two little points right here. I'm going to use my little thing here. Dot 1, dot 2, and you got to line those up. And so I found it's pretty easy if you just take a finger and put it through the trigger well, and you can kind of use the palm of your other hand. It also helps if you cock it back and just get that out of the way. Once you have those lined up like that, you turn it around and you got to push this through. Now that can be really tight. It comes with this little cleaning kit. I just use the back side of that and go ahead and push it through. Then you can pull the retaining lock pin, whatever. Just forgive me, none of the names I'm going to use are the correct names. Get over it. Let's move on. All right, we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to put this, pull the trigger. We can just slide that forward now. All right, set that aside. Then as always, we just push that up, push it back and up, and it'll come out just like that. Keep in mind, with this particular spring set, you have a small end and a skinny end. It's two springs pushed together. So you want to make sure you keep your, this thing on the right side. Let's set that to the side. And then you have your barrel. Just slide it forward and pull it out and back. Now, this is usually going to have, you know, the most junk down inside of it. So I am going to put a little bit of cleaner through there so it can start soaking. And in this case, I'm going to use some oil, and I just have Hops 9, whatever you call this. And we can just take a little bit of that and put it, just kind of run it around the end here and let that soak through. You can run a cloth through it if you want. I'm a big fan of these little guys right here. Just make sure some of that gets put down in there so it can start breaking that down while we're cleaning the rest of it, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and get our upper slide clean. And you can see this one, very dirty from our gun range day. I might have actually had it a little too dirty while cleaning it. I seem to have forgotten my brush, so forgive me. Magic of Hollywood, we're gonna cut right here. I'll be right back. And just like that, we're back. I've got the right tools for the job now. So this one's very dirty, but to make sure we get it clean where we want it, we're just gonna take one of our little cleaning cloths here. We're gonna put just a little bit of oil on there and get it and just start wiping down a little bit. We're gonna go through, you clean this how you want to. That's the most important. And clean it to the cleanliness you want it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you wanna make sure you get all the chunks out of there to keep it operating smooth and safe. You can take your brush, put a little bit of cleaner on the brush, and you want to get in the slides, right? Just give them a brush and then we'll give them a wipe here in a minute. Get down in here. One of the more important pieces is right up here, this little breech area. Just make sure you give it a good scrub and we will clean it with the cloth in a minute. Any chunks that are in there you'll want to clean out. You can see the parts that really need help because they'll have the wear, right? That's where metal on metal is wearing out, and that's, you want to make sure that is clean and lubricated. All right. Set that aside. Let's take our brush, not our brush, sorry, our cloth that we were using. And we'll give it a good wipe down here, making sure to focus on those slide rails. Keep this thing running smooth. Like I said earlier, it's a little bit tight already, so any kind of help we can give it, the better, right? Obviously, that is toast. We're going to use this little pointed Q-tip, and that way you can kind of get down in there a little easier. Clean that out. I'm not doing it now because of the video, but sometimes I'll wear a headlamp because I don't see that well these days anymore, and that headlamp lets me get more light down onto the part I'm cleaning. Okay. All right, so now let's just get that off to the side. We're going to take one more of our fresh, clean cloths and give it one more wipe down. And the idea here is hopefully this one won't get as dirty, which means we're clean. See that? Clean that, make sure there's no chunks in there. Get outside these rails. All right. I don't know how well you can see that in the video. But it's definitely so much better than it was just a few minutes ago. So now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to do the same thing to our lower hand grip area. Again, we'll just use the one we just used, and we'll kind of just start wiping it down. This was wet enough. There's plenty of oil on it, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more on there. And just give everything a wipe down, but remember to really focus where you can see most of the carbon buildup and where you can see wear from metal on metal. All right? And just kind of give it a good scrub. Maybe spend a little bit more time than I'm going to do here because I want you guys to see the progression of the video without having to completely wait for me. So again, we can use one of these guys and get in there and just give it a wipe. Make sure our stuff is clean. That's still kind of dirty right there. So let's take our brush and just give it a good brush. We still have enough cleaner on the brush from before. Make sure that extractor is clean of any buildup or large chunks because that obviously is a very important piece to keep this thing running smooth. And then on this one, you have your guides right down here. So we're gonna give them a brush, and then we're gonna wipe it down again. If you need to get into some places, you can use the small end of the brush here and guide the cloth with it. See that? Because sometimes our fingers are a little bit too big to get down in there. So that's a great way to keep that clean. All right. If you have a microfiber or some kind of cloth that does not leave material behind, it's great to use to kind of give a good wipe down to get that excess oil off of there. Okay, way better than it was before. Perfect. Let's set that aside. And now the barrel. So your cleaning kit came with this little tool. You can buy them extra, you can buy them better, but this one came with this one, and it works really well, to be honest with you. So we're gonna put just a little bit of cleaner on here. We already dumped some down the barrel earlier, but nothing, a little bit more doesn't hurt. We're gonna push this all the way through and all the way out about 5 or 6 times. Okay, now we're going to remove that one, and we're going to put on this one. This one will help us put a cloth down through the barrel. If you have a snake, that is one of the best, not an actual like get you snake, but a cleaning snake. That is one of the best tools to do this with. I just honestly kind of wanted to use what came with it for this video. So we're going to just put that through there and then push it through. And you'll see how it's kind of clean, getting whatever was left in there out. See that? Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to take 2 of them. This is where we're going to start lubricating the weapon. Actually, scratch that. We're going to come back to that. We're going to take this one now and we're going to wipe down the outside of our barrel because, yes, very important. Get all of that off. If you notice before how dirty this feed ramp was, that is something we definitely want to make sure we're getting all of that carbon buildup off of here and keep it clean and polished. One thing about these SARs is they come in 2 models. The one I have, which is the black and silver, that comes with a steel chrome style barrel, and then it has an all black one, and that one has a black barrel. It has a lot of problems, so I've heard, feeding, and part of that is because this ramp isn't so smooth and slick. With this one, when I got it, I did polish that a little bit, and I think that has helped my success with this pistol. But you can see now how shiny that is. Huge difference. Okay, let's get these cloths out of the way. Now we're going to take this, and I'm going to double it up so it's a little bit thicker going through the barrel. Again, if you have a barrel snake, it does a better job of this, but this will work. We're going to just take and put a little bit of this oil on each side of it, and we're going to push it down the barrel a few times. And while you're doing it, turn it each time to make sure you're lubricating all the way through that barrel. Then we can take that off, and there's enough oil left on this, we can wipe down the outside of the barrel. Okay, we're going to clean off this. Our little slide retaining pin thingamajigger, technical word. There we go. Now, what I do for the slides is I go back to my handy dandy pointed Q-tips. I'll put some oil on there, and we'll make sure we just get it down inside the slide. You don't need a whole lot. Maybe if you're going to go to the range, you want to make it a little wetter. But for storage, I feel you don't need a lot. I am an amateur. I am fairly new to this whole handgun stuff. I know what they taught us in the Army. And it's funny because every time you'd go somewhere else for a different duty station, they would give you different advice, right? Armorers. But I just keep it lightly oiled. There we go. Let's put a little bit on our cleaner cloth here, and we'll wipe down. Again, you know where to put it because you can see the metal on metal wear marks. Same in here. You want to make sure you get it on your guides up here. And in this area here, your feeder. All right, and that's it. Last but not least, our barrel. You don't need a lot here. You can use the cloth you just lubricated your gun with to wipe that down, keep it clean, wipe down your spring. All right, let's put it back together. So, an organized workspace. All right, here we go. Barrel in, you kind of aim it down and slide it through and pull it back. Then our spring and pin, we're gonna guide that pin through the spring and then hook it on our barrel, just like that. It can be a little bit tricky, but that's what it should look like when you're done, all right? It should have plenty of tension on that spring. Then we just take it and put it right back through our slide here, push it back, do the trick with your palm and your fingers in, line up those 2 points, and we can get this back in there. Just like that. Do a function check. Just there, make sure it locks back. There we go. And we're clean. I would wipe it down. And you're ready for the next range day. Thanks again for watching. This has been Big Guy Ballistics. Go out there, shoot, have fun. It doesn't matter what you have. As long as it functions, it throws lead down range, and you have a great time. See you later.